What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Watu Kami. Now, I know y'all aren't really used to that name. That's my name over at my other YouTube channel, which I might or might not put a link in the description below. If I remember, I probably won't, but you can look at WATUKAMI. It's not that hard. But today, I am going to be giving you a beginner's guide to Yu-Gi-Oh! / competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! For anybody wanting to come in. I wish I had these pointers whenever I came in. A lot of the stuff I learned via firsthand. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, first things first, it's okay to be ambitious in this game, but it's never ever wrong to just take your time and just play everything to figure out what you want. If you're new, you're playing to figure out what you like to play. If you're more of a older head and you're just trying to figure out what deck you want to play in competitive or whatever, you know, just go on Wigo Pro. If you don't know what that is, it's a online app that you can get on your phone or your computer, and basically it allows you to build decks and play test them against other people online. I use it whenever I build my decks. You know, I go online, I play them, and I'll try to get hands out of there and see what, you know, works for me and what doesn't work for me. It allows you to essentially practice with your deck before actually buying your deck, or practice your deck before actually going to like a regional or something like that. It's a really nice app to have, and if I were you, I'd go and get it. For anybody who doesn't know how to get it, there is a Discord that has Wigo Pro 2 on there that has all of the newest cards, and it stays updated. So what you can do is you can go online, just look at Wigo Pro 2 on whatever you're trying to get, and almost 9 times out of 10 the Discord's going to pop up. You jump into the Discord, you go to downloads, it'll have it there. You can download it, you can play test and see what decks you want to play. Now when it comes to newer people, when I say ambitious, there's been a lot of times where I've seen people start off this game and they buy a deck for like 250, 300 bucks, or even you know, somebody like me at the time, because like I told you guys in my last video, I think the most I was willing to spend was like 60 bucks on a deck jumping in, because I didn't know if I was going to be in it or not. I had a homie spend 80 bucks on a deck, and I think it was like a winged beast deck. It wasn't even like, he didn't really have like a boss monster or anything, but like his cards were just expensive, and the deck didn't work, and he just jumped out of it because he just spent 80 bucks and nothing came from it. You know what I'm saying? You want to start off, maybe like my first deck was Battery Man. Now I'm not saying to go that far back, but like whenever I started back in like 2017 or 2016, I mean, I think they were like 15 bucks, you know what I'm saying, starting off. And then I bought the Dino structure decks, which were like 30 altogether. And then with time, I started adding more competitive cards to these decks to see if I want to use them. And if I don't, well, I have the competitive cards, I can go to another deck, spend a little bit of money, try that out, or go on Wigo Pro and try that out for free. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just go ahead and take your time, find what deck you want to play, and go into it. You don't have to just pick up the best deck in the format and just expect results, because here's the thing. While pay to win does exist in Yu-Gi-Oh!, skill definitely does exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. And I've seen people lose to anti-meta and rogue decks they shouldn't be losing to, specifically because the person was you know, more experienced, more better. They knew how their deck worked more than the person that was using the higher up deck. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it for the first point. All right, so the second point, and this is really for anybody who is just coming into competitive, or somebody who is like new to Yu-Gi-Oh! And they don't really know the culture around here. Keep your stuff protected. You know what I'm saying? Buy deck sleeves, buy a card box. Card boxes are dirt cheap. A lot of people will have like ones like this. This was like, I want to say 20 bucks. You don't have to get this. I bought this, but there are deck boxes that are like 5 bucks. You know what I'm saying? And they are really useful. I like this one because it's sealed. You know, I ain't got to worry about anything happening to my cards. You want to get deck sleeves. These deck sleeves will make sure that your cards will not get damaged by like dirt and anything like that. When you're going to regionals, or if you're going to locals, those tables, they can be like pretty dirty. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get your cards dirty, you know, especially like if say something happened and you wanted to sell your cards back off. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between being near mint and lightly played. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who buys cards knows that. So yeah, you want to do that. Another good thing that you could also get, anybody who's new, or anybody who is still like learning and going through decks, and say like a deck doesn't work out and you have a bunch of cards, you don't know where to put them. One of these is really nice. You know what I'm saying? I've had this for about 3 years. For anybody who doesn't know, as this looks, this is a card binder. It keeps all your cards in pristine condition. On top of that, you know what I'm saying, it gives you a spot to put all your cards instead of just kind of leaving them like in a drawer or something where they can easily get damaged, or just leaving them out where they can easily get stolen. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep everything together. I never had a problem with these. I love these guys to death. I could have replaced them, but I mean, I love them so much I've kept them. You know what I'm saying? I might buy more of these if I keep, you know, buying decks and getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, guys, speaking of stealing, something that I said a couple of moments ago, when you're going off to like your locals, regionals, nationals, worlds, hanging out with somebody you met at one of those tournaments or whatever, somebody you think you can trust, my guy, keep your eye on your stuff at all times. Everybody has been stolen from in Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody has been stolen from in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the biggest problem in the game right now. A lot of people will say, oh, no, slow playing is a problem, but I mean, every card game has slow playing. You know, I say board games have slow playing. Fucking fighting games have slow playing, you know, stalling, you know what I'm saying? Those are problems. However, stealing is the #1 problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! There has not been one person I have met that has not had at least a story about somebody stealing at least a card from them. I've had stuff stolen from me, and like I've kept my eye on my bags and stuff. Like no one's gonna outright just steal my deck. But there have been times I've been like, yo, you want to trade or whatever at like a tournament, and you go and you trade, and when you go home you go through and you're looking for a specific card, and then you realize, oh snap, that card that I had up in here, it's gone. You know, a good example for me, to give you guys an example, Psy-Frame Lord Omega. I used to use it in my Pendulum Magician deck back when I played that, and I broke it apart because I was working on a different deck at the time, and I decided to put it back together only to find out my Psy-Frame Lord Omega and 2 of my Astrograph Sorcerers were stolen. So there you go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It sucks. It really does suck that I have to tell you guys that that's a problem here, but it is. So you want to keep your eyes on your stuff. You want to make sure that nobody that you don't trust is near it. You know what I'm saying? If it means keeping your backpack on your back, do that. When it comes to backpacks, my personal go-to for anybody who is like walking around, get a backpack with zippers. Because my backpack has a button, and like 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I will be, you know, a little nonchalant with my shit, you know what I'm saying, and like I would leave the button open. It's so easy. While you leave like your backpack like on the ground or something like that, right next to you, someone could easily just like while you're playing, you know what I'm saying, here you are, you're playing like this, just my profile, you're playing like this, you know, you're keeping focus on here and here, but your bag is here, and somebody can just come by, open up your bag, take your stuff, and then dip. They can just do that mess, and you really wouldn't even know, especially like if you are really focused on what you do like I am. So yeah, you want to keep that in mind. Number 3, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a cheap game to get into if you're trying to play competitive. Now, if you are just a casual player and you just want to go to locals, you will never have a problem making a cheap deck. I mean, most decent decks, when I say decent, I mean decks that you can rely on and combo with the ban list, at the very cheapest is maybe like $20. You know what I'm saying? To me personally, at this point, it is cheap. At the time when I made my battery man, I was like, man, 20 is kind of ooh, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That was me at the time. You know, 20 to me was a lot, and 60 was the max I was willing to pay. But like, if you're just trying to play for fun, you don't really have to worry about buying the meta cards and all that stuff. Like, for example, dinosaurs. You could probably play dinosaurs for like $30. I'm pretty sure on TCG they still sell the structure decks for like 10 a piece. You know what I'm saying? You buy them for $30. You have one of the, I think personally, the best boss monster in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. So I mean, yeah, there's ways to play this game cheap. Now, in my opinion, and some other people's opinions that I've talked to over the past couple of days, the bare minimum you can probably do well in with a really cheap deck is probably regionals. And the reason why I say that is because I played Pendulum Magicians. This is one of the reasons why I switched over from Dinos to Pendulum Magicians for that short little time. My deck was maybe about $25-30, and somehow I finessed my way to 18th place. Now, if me and the guy that I was playing with that beat me in the last round, and me and him had just took a tie, I would have made top 16. And that deck was like $25. You know what I'm saying? You can finesse your way in there with cheaper decks at regionals. I'm not going to say that there's a really good chance that it's going to happen. And more or less kind of resides on luck and the people that you go against. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times that I played, especially in that tournament, there were some bricky people that I went against. And there was a guy who ended up not showing up for my game. So I was able to just get a buy in that, and I ended up making it pretty far. But if you're trying to go to not regionals, nationals, or worlds, or anything like that, bro, you're gonna have to invest. There's nothing wrong with spending money, and as a disclaimer, I'm saying, like, if you want to buy like the meta cards or whatever, you don't have to buy the glossiest, most extravagant cards. You know what I'm saying? There are cards that are going to be super glossy that are going to be like 30-40 bucks, or you can get yourself a rare or maybe even a super rare for like 10 bucks. Or hey, if you're lucky, there's a common out there it's maybe about 5 or like somewhere between 1 to 5 bucks. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's other ways to do that, but what I'm talking about is like meta and stuff like that. So for example, what's a good one? Ash Blossom, for example, a card that I brought up in the last video. I think the cheapest it is somewhere between 10 and 20. I don't remember how much it costs, but let's just say it's 20 bucks. You're buying 3 of them. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be spending like 60 bucks. Dark Ruler No Mores, that's gonna be about 60 bucks if you buy 3 of them. Pot of Extravagance, it's about like $20 to $25 a pop. So you're probably going to be spending somewhere between 60 and 70. I bought the new Dino support card or whatever, the level 1. That's about 50 a piece. I bought 2 of them, so that was about 100 bucks. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, and it gives you an advantage whenever you're going against other people, because if they don't have those cards, you effectively have another way to stop them. And on top of that, if somebody else has the same cards you do, you can actually compete against them and not have to worry about them stopping you out and you not being able to counterattack as you see fit. And actually, this will segue us into, I think, 2 tips. Actually, we're going to take 4 and 5. We're going to conjoin them. The first one is for anybody who's new and they don't know how to use the market. There is a website called TCG Player. Use it. I promise you, bro. So, like, one of the first things that kind of happened to me that was, like, negative in Yu-Gi-Oh! I went to one of my locals. We got these OTS packs, right? And I opened them up, and I got an Ulti Terraforming. One of the first, like, big money. I think, no, it was the biggest money card I've ever gotten. It was like 40 bucks or something like that. I didn't know what TCG Player was. I was a new Yu-Gi-Oh player. I had just gotten like my Dino deck at like a decent like spot. I was just now starting to buy cards online. I didn't know how much it cost, and a guy wanted to trade with me. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I mean, if you want to trade, sure, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to take your word for it. You know, if you say it's worth about this, and that, then I'm going to do that. You know, I was very naive. I thought nobody would, like, do me dirty like that. Even the guys that I hang out with now, there was a couple of them that just saw it happen. You know what I'm saying? They knew I didn't know what I was doing, and they just let me give away a $40 card for, like, I think maybe 12 bucks. Maybe. It was for like some Yang Zing support for dinos. I think it was like the red Yang Zing, and I think it was like 4 bucks a piece, and I got like 3 of them or something like that, or 2 of them. You know, so it was somewhere between 8 to 12 bucks that I got back from a $40 card that I didn't even know was expensive. You know what I'm saying? You need to watch the market, and you need, whenever you buy like certain cards, if you think that they're expensive or if you think there's something special about it, go on there. It's not wrong to go on there and check it out and see. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, no matter how many friends you have in this game, and this isn't any card game, okay? I'm not saying specifically Yu-Gi-Oh! You gotta trust yourself more than anybody else. It's okay to trust your homies, but every so often you just kind of have to take your gut instincts and like go online and do your research and do all that stuff. Because sometimes, bro, your homies are just gonna give you bad advice. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because they do it on purpose, or maybe they do it on purpose, I don't know. But sometimes you gotta trust yourself in a situation. If I were you personally, go on TCG Player. There's an app now for it. Get the TCG Player app or something, and anytime you get a new card or whatever, look it up. You know how much it is. So if somebody wants to trade you, they're not gonna jip you out of a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Because it can happen. All right, guys. Tip number 5: respect the ban list. All right. Any cards that you have or that you're thinking about buying that you know for a fact everybody is saying is busted or is unfair or is really crazy, if you're going to buy that card, buy it with the idea of maybe it going away in about the next couple of months. And that's something that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I played True King Dino Yang Zings, and the first time it happened to me, I lost Denlong, I lost a Thosajin. You know what I'm saying? I got destroyed. I had to go in playing another type of True King deck, and it was not fun. The second time it happened to me, I was playing Pendulum Magicians, and I lost Astrograph, Sorcerer, and Skulker Bad Joker. And those are just examples of what can happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep that in mind whenever you're buying cards. You don't just want to go out and buy cards willy-nilly. If you know a ban list just happened, that's where you want to buy your cards. Like, literally, the day I said I want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, I think, 2 days after this past ban list. So I'm safe. I'm cool. All the cards I'm buying will be okay. You know what I'm saying? Say I wanted to get back into it like a week ago, you know what I'm saying, and I wanted to play the more combo based dinos. If you remember, like a couple of those cards in certain like dino decks got banned. It's good to just wait for a ban list to hit and then you buy your cards, because I promise you, even though you're gonna have to wait a while, I promise you it's gonna be worth it, because nothing sucks more than buying your cards and then immediately having to put them away. The biggest example I can probably give to things going super down south, besides the ones I've given you, I had a homie that I used to play with back in 2017 who played Shaddolls in 2015, and one of his homies played Burning Abyss. And anybody who is an old head in Yu-Gi-Oh, who has been playing this game for about 5 years or more, knows about what happened in 2015 and knows about the amount of just massacre and slaughter that happened on that freaking ban list that got rid of Shaddolls basically. Burning Abyss basically went into freaking hibernation for like 2 years and then came back out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these decks got like super hit. Another example is everybody who bought all the Zodiac stuff back in 2017 when Lynx came out, and they got double ban listed, bro. It was the funniest thing, honestly, because I didn't like the deck. I thought the deck was unfair, but they got hit on the ban list. Lynx came out, they got stronger, so then Konami was like, you know what, we're just gonna kill the deck, and then they just murdered the deck. So people who bought the cards going into, you know, tournaments or whatever that were around that ban list, you know, that sucks. So yeah, a good thing to do is to keep your eye on the ban list, make sure you stay on top of it, and yeah. All right, guys, the next tip, okay, I shouldn't have to tell y'all this. Most of us are grown men. All right, wash. Deodorant is not a shower. Let me say that again. Deodorant is not a shower, okay? You putting on a bunch of deodorant doesn't do anything. All you do now is smell like BO and deodorant. You don't just smell like the deodorant. And I have to say that. I have to look you dead in the eyes for anybody who needs this, bro. Deodorant is not a shower. Take a shower before you go, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like taking showers when you're at home, fine, don't. But when you come out there and you hang out with a bunch of people in an enclosed space like that, like hopefully whenever COVID and all that stuff goes away, you know what I'm saying? You have to wash, bro. Like, it sucks when people don't wash and I gotta sit and play by somebody or in front of somebody who smells like straight BO, bro. It sucks, bro. And there was a guy, I forgot who it was on YouTube. I mean, if any of you guys have seen it, you know, say it in the comments. But there was a guy who said his strategic method in playing Yu-Gi-Oh was to not wash because it throws people off their game because he smells bad, bro. That is so grimy, bro, and so just uncool. Take a shower, bro. Just take a shower. It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard. Like I said, if you don't want to take a shower at home, don't. Fine, whatever, it's your house. But when you're hanging out with people, bro, common courtesy, take a shower. Or at least, hey, at the very least, if you just hate water, wash up in the sink or something, bro. Take yourself a washcloth, get up in them crevices, make sure you're smelling good, then put on the deodorant. If you feel like you're smelling good, maybe put a little bit of cologne here and there, you know what I'm saying? But like, you want to take a shower or at least wash in some way. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, bro, you're just a dirty boy, and nobody likes a dirty boy. All right, guys, the next tip, and this one's going to be a quick one. Don't be afraid to call the judge over when you're at a tournament, okay? It's better to call out your opponent if they're slow playing or if they're cheating and getting that taken care of then, instead of, oh, I don't want to bother him, so I'm just going to sit here and let this guy cheat and beat me. Because then why did you show up? You know what I'm saying? Why did you take that 45-hour-long drive to get there? Why did you spend the money to get in your hotel and you just let that guy cheat because you don't want to bother the judge? Do it. Go ahead. Do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do. Now, don't be a rule shark. You know what I'm saying? Rule sharks are lame. All right? Rule sharks don't have any girls, bro. Rule sharks, they barely got friends. And if their friends are friends of theirs, bro, they're rule sharks, bro. That's all you got to know about that. Don't be a rule shark. However, like, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and be like, yo, I think this guy's cheating. Or, hey, this guy's purposefully slow playing so he can run out the clock and it'll either be a tie or it would be a win for him. All right, guys, here's the last tip. If you guys want another video like this, please blow up this video and we can do a part 2 or something like that. But the last tip I have for you guys is to have your own style. Okay, have your own style, have your own flow, and you'll get that with time. It's good to template yourself over. It's good to template yourself around people, but don't be afraid to kind of go on there and be like, well, this is kind of a really expensive build. What if I try to find cards around that build? and see if those work. And if they don't work, try to find another way around it. You know what I'm saying? Find ways to make your deck work your own way. You know, it's good to, you know, look at it's good to look at YouTube videos like mine or anybody else's and get ideas, but don't just outright copy long term. It's good when you're new to kind of, you know, copy and learn from other people, from what they say is safe. But then over time, it is going to be an extreme advantage if you just have your own playstyle. I'm telling you, in a world now where I feel like a lot of people in card games play the exact same way, if you are just a little bit off, bro, that could be the difference between you losing and winning. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing you swapped up. If everybody's playing one specific way and they're all preparing to fight that person who plays that specific way, and then you come in and you're like, oh, I'm going to play this card, a card that nobody ever plays, bro, and then you wash them out because they didn't sign for a card like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's you know, satisfying, at least to me. To completely just throw somebody off like that, that's one of my favorite things to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. If you guys really do want to see more of this, like I said, go into the comment sections. You know what I'm saying? Ask for it and you shall receive. There will be a deck profile coming soon. My cards are coming in and I don't want to do it on Wygo. I'd rather just do it in person. So yeah, this has been Watu Kami and I will see y'all. Peace.